Ever feel like the world just doesn't get introverts? You're not alone. Welcome to the Stay Introverted Podcast. We're your hosts, Steph and Jay Coleman, here to dive into life from an introvert's perspective.
Each week we break down everything, from relationships and work to social dynamics and self-care, all while busting myths, sharing personal stories, and celebrating the quiet power of introversion. So, if you're ready to embrace your introverted side, let's get into it.
All right. We are back in the house. Steph, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I am doing okay. Just coming out the weekend, which actually was more productive than I guess I give myself credit for, but it was pretty good.
I love a good productive weekend.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a long time. What's that like?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you're coming off a birthday weekend, so let's give some grace where grace is due.
I appreciate that, but like the 2 months before that, I don't know what my excuse was.
I mean, look, I was trying to help.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I will say that one of my biggest weaknesses in life is not knowing how to just accept the help.
Trying to help us.
I just dig myself a bigger hole.
It's all right.
I'm working on it. I am aware of it, so that's the first step, right?
Fair enough.
Wait, what did you get done this weekend?
So as you know, I'm working with D. Shout out D.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
She is my consultant. I'm just trying to get my marketing life in order. So we've been kind of going back and forth. It's interesting because we talk every day, except Sundays because she doesn't work Sundays. And as we talk so much, I forget she has other clients.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's good customer service.
It is. That's a testament to how good she is. Because she got other clients.
Right.
But yeah, we can we chat, go back and forth pretty much all day. And part of it is just because one, I want to get what I pay for.
Right.
But also I know that what I've been doing in my business hasn't been working to the extent that I want it to work. Otherwise, I want me going to D. So and this is my first time working directly with a consultant, and I made it a point going in that I'm just going to put everything on the table. I'm here to basically listen and provide all the info that I can provide, do whatever I need to do to kind of get my business where it wants to be. So that's really, that's really, and then I told her this, what I've been doing hasn't been working. So you're not going to hurt my feelings. I came to you. So please just give me your input. I'm willing to try anything. If it doesn't work, that doesn't work. But at least it'll be the result of something strategic as opposed to Jay freeballing. So,
right. And she seems like a straight shooter, so.
Definitely.
I love that.
And she's hilarious. And she's understand because she's an introvert, she understands creative introverts, and she's able to kind of hone my general wackiness into a strategy. I'm able to kind of get funnel all that creativity into a more strategic outlet, and that's what I told her. I'm definitely more creative than I give myself credit for, but now it's this fire hydrant of creativity is coming out, and I need someone to hone it, kind of, focus it in a way that's profitable. So it's been cool. It's been awesome. I've learned a lot. Definitely seeing it's changing the way that I think about content. Like I'm actually putting, and you're seeing the kind of slightly different content, but there's definitely there's a purpose behind each piece of content that I'm putting out now. So like I'm still putting out funny ass reels, but there's a purpose to that. I'm putting out carousels, but it's a purpose. Like, there's something that I actually want the reader or the viewer to do. So that's kind of been the big difference.
Absolutely. I think intention is absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you need to go out and announce this is what I'm doing, but like eventually, like over time, like the consumer of the content can feel your intention without you saying it explicitly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That was my weekend. Did some reading.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm out of comic books. So I gotta buy some more comic books.
Oh, cool. Very fun. I love that. Is it the comic book subscription that you got?
I haven't gotten a subscription yet. I'm
Oh, you
considering.
thought about it.
Yeah, I'm considering doing it because it'll just give me access to like the entire universe of comics. But a part of me, I don't know. I'm still old school enough that I like ownership.
Yeah,
If that makes, like I wasn't, I don't like iTunes or like sort of like those types of platforms because I like being able to actually just, I don't want to rent music. I want to own it or be able to download it and keep it wherever I want to keep it. So I struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you. Even as a digital creator.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess you'll figure it out. You'll either I think it's gonna come down to like a cost benefit. Like, what does it make the most sense to do? Like, am I super into comics where I'm reading so many of them all the time that it's getting too expensive to sustain? Or like how much does it matter to me that I own it versus how many do I want to read?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good weekend.
It was very awesome. I need more of those.
Nice.
But we have some news for the viewing or listening public.
Yeah, however you listen or watch or whatever, consume.
I'll let you do the honors. It's kind of your news.
Okay. Yeah, so I have decided after much reflection, why am I so formal? But I'm not good at this stuff. I have decided that I am going to let go of the Stay Introverted podcast and most likely over the next couple of months, just podcasting in general. A lot went into this decision, but ultimately I think that it's like the right choice for me, where I'm at just like as a human being and like where I want to go as a human being. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm a human being. Like, what else would I be? But like, yeah, like basically where this is coming from is I was kind of figuring out like my values and my goals and who I am and where I want to go and my 5-year plan and all that. And one thing I noticed is in all of this work that I'm doing on myself to figure out where I want to be, podcasting just wasn't coming up. And that was pretty telling. I think that if I had done all of this work a year ago, it might have, but it just wasn't coming up. And so I got curious and I asked myself, like, why is that? And I just realized, the whole reason that I got into this whole podcasting space to begin with is because I wanted to become comfortable with my voice and I wanted to become comfortable with speaking and articulating and saying exactly what I think and expressing myself and not being afraid to just talk. And that came, like, I hit that goal a lot faster than I ever thought. Like, I didn't think that I would get here in 18 months. And I did. And now I'm at the point where I want to take that skill, or I am taking that skill, and I want to be in my life. Like, I want to be more present at work. I want to be more present in my neighborhood and in my community. Um, and so I was finding, like, every time I was doing podcasting stuff, I was doing that instead of XYZ. And I was like, okay, this is not aligning right now with where I'm trying, like, what I'm trying to build. Like, for a long time, I didn't think we were staying in New York City, or at least in this neighborhood. Now it's becoming clear to me that we are staying in this neighborhood long term, and I'm okay with that, you know? Um, like, I didn't think that we'd be able to afford this neighborhood. And now that we can, hopefully, and hopefully raise a family here, I better start laying some roots. Instead of just walking around with my headphones on. I gotta make some friends. um, I also wasn't totally sure a year and a half ago about my career. I didn't know if I was going to be staying at my company long term. And now that I'm happy with what I'm doing at work and happy with who I'm working for, and really actually proud of, like, the deliverables that I'm bringing to the table, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. So instead of hiding during my lunch break, like, I wasn't hiding that much, but I was hiding a little bit. Or instead of, like, spending my lunch breaks and then right after work constantly podcasting, and not just this one, but I have the other two as well. Um, Instead of doing that and then also going on other podcasts to promote and then also listening to the podcast and picking out times and whatever, I want to spend time with my coworkers who I work with and who kind of make work fun and enjoyable. So there, and then also, like, even after work and just spending time with friends, like, I only have so much energy as an introvert. At the end of the day, I'm always going to be an introvert. And so I was finding, like, my mom would call me and I'd be, like, too tired from podcasting. Or, like, a friend would text me to go for dinner and I would say no because I didn't have the energy. And, like, that to me is no longer acceptable, considering, like, I want to be a mom and, like, I still want to be able to maintain my ties to my friends and family, even when I'm exhausted from having kids. So I'm just kind of thinking in terms of, like, where I'm at and, like, the future, and yeah, that's kind of where this is coming from.
Well, I mean, that obviously I'm mixed emotions. Definitely sad that this chapter, at least, of the podcast is coming to a close. But I'm also excited that you've gotten to this place in your own journey. I think that's awesome and should definitely be celebrated.
Thank you.
So we go. Clap, clap. We never did get our clapper, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, and I have to say, like, when I called you, I was super nervous, because I've never really, like, walked away from something that I care about, and so it was like, I was, like, so nervous, like, am I doing the right thing? But, like, you held space for me. I hate that fucking word. But, like, that, in this instance, it's an appropriate word. You really, like, made me feel like, okay, like, this is, like, your journey, And I appreciated that. Like, you didn't make your feelings get in the way of like me being able to say my piece and like I like be able to figure out where we go from here.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's how you said it. Like everyone's journey is their journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we started this one together.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to end together at the same time. Like we may,
Absolutely.
like I said, they're different, and you know, I'm appreciative to this day, and I'll always be appreciative to the fact that, you know, when I called you, like I didn't even get the question out, and you was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Like I was nervous when I called to ask, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you know, we did a few lives together, but she don't really know me. We never like met in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and here we are,
Right.
you know, 60 something episodes later, a year and a half later, rocking it. And, you know, I've, you know, as much as, you know, you've grown and you've learned, I've definitely learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot from you. Like you've helped me, one, you know, kind of be not necessarily less of a control freak, because introverts, I think, are control freak, can be,
Oh,
but
are we? I never knew that. Never heard that one before. Just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah. You know, but just, you know,
Same.
let me know that it doesn't have to be perfect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's more important to be authentic and real than to get every single thing right, to hit hit every mark, check every box. You know, because people see through that. You know, they can
Absolutely.
see what you're trying to do. And you know, authenticity is it's important to me, not just here but in life and my brand. So to not do that, I don't think would have been great for us. So you taught me that.
Right.
In your way, you've helped me find my voice. You've helped me kind of grow. You know, I've made this brand about and for my introverted people, but
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling that being an introvert it was kind of becoming too much of my own personality. So, you know, it was called Stay Introverted Podcast, but you know, what, episode 3 or 4, we started talking about other things, and
Right.
we've been talking about other things since. Like we've had extroverts on the show. We've had, you know, omniverts, ambiverts. You know, it's, you know, we're so much more than just being introverted, and
Absolutely.
that's something that I've been embracing over the last year and a half, and it's something that I definitely um want you know, kind of how you've done it. You said, you know, you said a lot better than I currently am, but just, you know, just, you know, not having introversion like be my entire personality.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this offline a little bit. That was another component of like this decision was I was like, I'm always going to be an introvert my whole life. Like, I don't believe that that can be changed except maybe in very rare circumstances. But like at the end of the day, that's just how I'm wired. I think it just over the last 6 months, I want to say, it's become less core to like my personality. And so it, like to your point about authenticity, like it just stopped feeling, I think I didn't even realize it was subconscious, but like, oh, it started to feel like not authentic for me to like be on a podcast, even though we don't talk about introversion necessarily. Like, I'm just like when I think of myself, is introvert like a label that I assign? And I was like, not really. But like, I always will be. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Uh,
Like I mean I am and always will be an introvert and I love that part about me. Um it's just like I forget that I'm an introvert sometimes.
fair enough. So yeah. That's the story.
Mm-hmm.
I guess obviously the obvious question is kind of where this goes from here. I don't know. I've been thinking over the weekend kind of what I want to do. And again, this is also kind of not a consequence, but it's kind of just my learning from you. Like I do feel now, part of the reason I wanted to have co-hosts, two co-hosts, was because I just didn't want to be talking into a camera. Like I don't know what the fuck to say for a half hour, 20 minutes.
Right.
I ain't got that much to say. Now I kind of feel like I do. I think there's more.
I love that.
Yeah, like, there are more aspects to my life. There are more things that I can talk about. There are projects. There are things that projects that I'm working on. Other people that I do want to I guess collaborate with. So
Wow, I love
I
that.
do anticipate a podcast in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going to rush into anything just because I want to do, I kind of want to get all my thoughts together. But yeah, I do think that in some way I'll be in this kind of podcasting space. I'm definitely more comfortable speaking on camera.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I'm less concerned. I'm less nervous about like content. Like I have things that I can talk about.
That's amazing. That makes me
You know,
so happy.
yeah, like I do want to um have something that does that kind of connects more to the business, but is not 100% about the business. Like I don't want to just have like a half-hour commercial about shirts.
Right. How would that look? Oh gosh. Like an infomercial.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe, and I guess when I say in line with the brand, just kind of being able to provide, I guess, that human element of the brand, kind of like the man behind the brand, why I created it, those types of things. I am working on um, I am working on something big a big idea for me that does involve building a community.
Ooh.
And I think there's a place for that in the podcasting space. So I
Absolutely.
definitely, as I get closer, to kind of unveiling that, I will definitely reach out to you to let you know about that.
Hell yeah.
I
I want to
just,
hear all the things.
yeah, I don't want to let that out just yet because something that actually me and this is partly why I hired D is to kind of make sure the strategy is there.
Wow.
But I personally I try to look at everything as an opportunity, and I can kind of see where the podcast part fits, and then kind of bringing this into it, and it would definitely be a good marriage of the two. But I'm also not in a rush, so
Right. I
um,
have an idea for the podcast if you
okay,
want to hear it.
yes, why not? Let's
Um,
go.
what if, because I know that you were like kind of like, what if you didn't want to make it solely about introversion, but you still wanted to tie it to the brand? What if you did it connected to the sincerely part of the brand instead of the introversion? And then you could focus on like authenticity. I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up because like that's something that I wanted something that is like authentic and focuses more on just how you said the sincerely part as opposed to
Hmm.
the introvert part. Um,
That could be really cool.
that's you said it the way I wanted to say it.
I love that.
And
Like
so
sincerely Jay or something.
exactly, I was just getting Cecily J. That's exactly what I came up with. Like I was looking at my logo and I'm like, I can just get rid of introvert, put a J right there. Similar logo, just a Sincerely J. Bam.
Right. And instead of like an anonymous introvert, you're this is me. I'm putting my damn name on it.
Yeah, and I was like, it can, there's still that recognition from the logo, but it's not just about introversion. It's about being sincere, about being authentic, and it opens the
Yeah,
door to so much other stuff.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah, so that's it's an idea. It's definitely I'll say at the top or near the top of the list of ideas.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, again, it's not I'm not in any particular rush. It'll definitely happen when it
Oh, I
happens.
love that. I'm so
Uh,
excited to see whatever happens
yeah,
with
so
it.
you don't have to worry about me getting any rebound podcast. Um,
Don't get into anything too quick now. Jake's gonna have like 25 podcasts tomorrow just to like,
exactly. Exactly. I'm gonna go through a podcast whole
I'll
phase.
show her.
Exactly. I'm gonna have all the podcasts.
I love it. And don't go talking bad about. I'm just kidding. I trust you. Um, yeah. No, I mean this is such an awesome experience. Like I told you the other day, like I could not imagine myself having this sort of conversation and have it go so well. Like even though it's about ending the podcast, I could not have had this sort of conversation where I advocated for like what I want and like clearly articulated where I'm headed in life without having the podcast in the first place. So like I'm so like I don't even have the words to express how grateful I am for the experience, for the fact that you thought of me. Um, way back when. It was almost 2 years ago. And I I'm just eternally grateful. Like 2 years ago or so, I couldn't tell you like what color sweater I was wearing right now without like beating around the bush, you know? I'd be like, it's the same color. Like, I couldn't talk. And I feel like now I can articulate on even the hardest topic, and even the hardest things that I want to say because I found my voice and I'm just eternally grateful for that.
Well, thank you. And I mean, the feeling's the same. Like I said, I learned a lot from you, just seeing how you approach life. And
Oh gosh,
approach.
that's scary. What did you learn?
Oh, well, I mean that you don't
I'll go
necessarily
back.
yeah, you don't necessarily have to control everything. Like you can
Hmm.
just accept life as it is. Um, you can just literally just dive, not dive in willy nilly,
Uh-huh.
but get info and take a chance. Like at some point, you got to pull a trigger on something,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, you felt me kind of find my voice as well, and I'm definitely appreciative of that. You've helped me uh, realize that hey, it's okay to actually talk to other people and collaborate, and there are folks who actually are on the same wavelength.
Hmm.
Um, and it's been an awesome ride this last year and a half because like I literally there are people who I've never would have interacted with had it not been for you. Like
Absolutely.
um, again, I'm working with our friend Katrina out in the UK. Like
Oh, cool.
we're working on a project. Like I never would have made that connection. Had it not been for you. So
That's awesome.
yeah, like there's uh so many awesome people, so many awesome things from that come from the podcast, but you were really impactful in like just getting people on the show. Like that wasn't my strength at all. Like it's like
Hmm.
say yeah, you can be on it if you want it, but it's like nah, you actually said hey, you want to be on the podcast. That's like you talked it up, and like
Hmm.
I learned how to do that.
Yeah, it was definitely I had to put myself out there too, so I don't want to pretend like that was a skill before I started all this, but it is a skill that has that I've leaned on now that I know that I have it through work, and just in general. Like, I used to struggle to ask people to show up for me, and now I'm like, cool, like, I know you all want to, so. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's yeah, so many. I could talk for days. All the skills and lessons that I've learned through this whole journey. And I'm sure even more will continue to come up for me 3, 6 months, a year down the line, as I'm just like living my life. Like, I'm gonna look back on this podcast and say, oh, that was like the catalyst. So I'm so grateful, and I've enjoyed this experience a lot, and
Same.
I would not trade it for the world.
Aw. Heart.
Lots of love for you and for our community.
Yes.
Should I butcher the ending one more time for an old time's sake?
Why not? For old time's sake.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you loved this episode of the Stay Introverted Podcast, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know where the show's gonna go, but I'm excited to see as a listener now, where it heads, what it gets called. And be sure to, I don't know, do like it, follow it on Spotify. I think we're gonna keep it up. I should just stop now.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to keep it up for now. Or whatever. See,
I should have let you do that one.
Yeah, I don't see reason to take it down. Like, yeah, I think
I want to preserve it like a memory.
Yeah, I think what we created was awesome, and I think there's still, someone down the line who will find this and, feel a little bit better about themselves because they know that they're not alone in this world. They know that there's someone else that understands what they're going through, what they're feeling. So, yeah, I think we'll definitely. I don't have any plans on taking anything down. So
better not. Just kidding.
Yeah, there's definite value there. But yeah, everything Steph said. I'm appreciative of the journey. I'll be back. I'm sure Steph will be back in maybe not in the space, but in a future endeavor, which I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah.
Me too. I'll be running with my strollers with Nokia meatball or whatever.
But yeah, I guess one last time, stay introverted.
Stay introverted, guys.